What they're doing is they're looking at vulnerable areas within the city. We have a high substance abuse issue within the city, alcohol abuse issues within the city. They have been targeting these types of persons or areas. They move into their residence and basically they start taking over the residence and selling their drugs from the residents. The unique thing with these out-of-town gangs is it's not an entire gang that comes up to Thunder Bay. It'll be gang members that come up to Thunder Bay and they start a cell up here. So they'll have people, local residents selling for them using their residence, and they move around. From the information that we've been gathering and what we've heard, it's they're not recruiting gang members here. They are taking advantage of people. People are indebted to them, so they'll sell drugs for them at a lower level. They are making a lot of money up here, so they keep it within their gang. It's a very structured organization where they have bosses and workers, and then within Thunder Bay they have locals that will sell at the lower end. We haven't encountered any abduction type of human trafficking in Thunder Bay. Mainly it's they befriend the female, maybe start dating her. They think they're really nice because they have a lot of money, spend lots of money on them, and then some violence starts where they may beat the girl, or from using the drugs now they have a debt over the girl, and they say you have to work off your debt by the sex trade. And it has the elements of human trafficking because they cannot get out of it, so they're now human trafficking. And what we're finding is the cases that we've had in Thunder Bay, the girls are not from Thunder Bay, they're from Southern Ontario. And when we've spoken to our partnering agencies, these girls have been in Sudbury, Toronto, Thunder Bay, Winnipeg, so they bounce around a lot. And they're here for one purpose, and that's for the sex trade. We do get reports of attempt abductions. We followed them up. We haven't had any gang-related abductions in Thunder Bay. Every investigation that's reported to the police, suspicious person, suspicious vehicle, attempt abduction, everything's investigated by the officers. They speak to witnesses, speak to complainants, speak to victims, review video, and they assess the entire way what has occurred. Sometimes it's not an abduction, sometimes it's just a coincidence of a person asking for directions. There's many different facets that could happen when the investigation happens and what is said to the officers. The officers always communicate with the complainant or the victim to let them know what happened. It gives the victim or complainant a peace of mind if it really wasn't an abduction, it was a coincidence, or if it was a suspicious person and it's helping out on the investigation or another investigation. We're finding issues with social media is that the police are not involved. A comment is made on social media, which it snowballs. There's no sourcing of it, so we don't know if it's true. People on the other end of the social media don't know if it's true, and it goes in all different directions, and it's really hard for the police to attempt to investigate it when there's so many different avenues of what is being said in social media. The investigators use media releases for public assistance, as well as when we get to certain points where we do believe that there's a safety issue, officers will send out media releases advising the public that there is a suspicious type of person, suspicious type of vehicle in a certain area that is doing a certain behavior. That's through a lot of investigation by the officers to determine that this is actually a fact. We also use the media to reach out to the public for assistance regarding missing people, assaults, or other investigations that occur where the police don't have very much information. We can't locate witnesses. The victim or complainant may be unable to talk or have disappeared. We send out pleas for the public to provide information to further investigations to help solve these issues. If people see a suspicious person or suspicious vehicle in the area, they can always contact the police if things aren't feeling right with them. If we do issue a media release where there was an incident that happened in a certain location and they've noticed that there was suspicious activity through a vehicle or a residence or people, by all means contact the police right away. It could be through Crime Stoppers or it could be through the front desk. We'll always take all the information and we will follow up on it, and it could be that piece of the puzzle that will solve the investigation.